Hello and welcome to the virtual elevator pitch. In the elevator, we have Ruby, and she's going to tell us all about her brand, Wuka. And you've got 30 seconds to tell us all about it.
At the age of 12, in my home country, Nepal, I was banished for bleeding and had to use uncomfortable and unreliable period product. Turns out this stigma around period and unreliable product exists worldwide. That's why I created Wuka. Stands for Wake Up Kick-Ass. We make period underwear that completely replaces the need for disposable tampons and pads. Over 500,000 girls and women have switched to Wuka, and together we have saved over 1.2 billion tampons and pads going to landfill. So I would welcome everybody to join on this mission to smash taboos, create a waste-free world at wuka.co.uk.
And those are some incredible stats, I've got to say, Ruby. Really amazing. I want to ask you, how long ago did the business start?
We were the first period pants brand in the UK, and we started 2017. I did a Kickstarter campaign, raised £7,000. Basically, that has been my fund so far. I have not raised any money from anybody else. We are in multi-millions at the moment.
I want to ask you to go from £7,000 to multi-million revenues. How did you self-fund? Because for manufacturing, for a first order, knowing that there's minimum first orders, how did you deal with that challenge?
Being first in the market has always a great advantage. We got the free publicity of being first period pants in the market. Also, being the first period pants actually holds heavy flow. They were current product in the market, but they were more like a leak-proof underwear. And what we created was you don't have to use anything else. Just wear the underwear, it absorbs your blood, wash dry, use it again. 2018, basically, we were like a wildfire in the news media. The UK's first period pants is here, would you like to try it? There was also this movement around David Attenborough and Greta Thunberg talking about climate change and sustainability. So I think we really caught that wave of encouraging people to try reusable products. So first 7 months, all I did was just take pre-orders after pre-orders. So when you take the pre-orders, you always have this little bit of cash that you can invest back into the stock. So first 2 years, I was doing pretty much everything from customer service to brand marketing, PR, anything that you name it. I don't have any background in business, so it was all learning for me. And something I am bold is I'm quite brave and not afraid to ask for things. So I think that really helps. As a business owner, you are a salesperson more than anything else. So every opportunity you get is you try and sell and you pitch. 2 years was that. And then my husband left 2 years ago his job and joined me full time. I don't have experience in building teams, so he came on board and he said okay, you can't do one person doing everything. And we started building a team around it. Now we have got 10,000 square foot warehouse in Welwyn Garden City and 17 people team.
And you distribute everything and manufacture in the UK?
They are made in China, and we distribute here in the UK. Factory is even run by a woman, and she's younger than me who runs the factory. So
I want to ask you something, because I had somebody who works with me who is in their early 20s. I said, would you use this? And she said, I don't know if I would, because I feel it's unhygienic. And I know that she's really into sustainability. And I said, well, what about, are there sustainable tampons and Tampaxes? And she said, there are, but they're way beyond my budget. I want to challenge you, Ruby, and say, how do you get to a young woman like that, who is maybe a little bit older than that Greta Thunberg movement, but she has a conscience, and yet she's not choosing this yet? How do you market her?
So cost is a massive factor, especially for that age. When you are just in the university, you have got loads of, exactly, and you are still paying that off. Initially, when we started period pants, they were quite expensive, and because we were doing a small batch of production, so the cost goes up. Now we are in so much better place in 4 years, 5 years kind of time. Each pair of underwear cost as little as £10 a pair. In 2 years, you need 5 pair, £50, and that will last you for 2 years of your period. Now, if you're thinking about it, even the cheapest pads and tampons will cost you at least £3 a pack. 1 pack a month, let's say, even if you have 3 days period. Some people have more.
£30 a year, £60 for 2 years.
And you are still saving another £10. You are comfortable, convenience, it's always in your drawer whenever you need it. You go on a holiday, you can take it. Wherever in the world you go on holiday, you can take it. I think it's about convenience, comfortable, and also on the long run, they are cheaper and much more sustainable.
You're also comparing it to the average price of a tampon Tampax in the market, because the person's comment was buying the biodegradable, really good for the environment tampon Tampax was so expensive.
Are very expensive.
If you want to have the conscious and be sustainable, it's looking at £120 for 2 year option versus your £60 for 2 year option too. It's interesting. I don't have my period anymore. So I look at these and I think would I do this? Could I persuade my daughter to do this? And my daughter's very hygiene phobe, the smell and everything. I remember when I was younger and I would have pads before I used Tampax, and I was very aware of the smell of my period around me. How does it compare?
The smell is because on the pad, there is a barrier of plastic. Plastic doesn't let the air flow. That's why there's a smell of your blood being musty, right? That's why like big companies started putting perfume in the pad. So it will mask that smell of the people's blood. Smell is normal in the first place. Like, like everybody's body smell, your sweat smell. So pretty much everything smells. If you wear your regular underwear for more than 12, 14 hours, that will smell. It is a part of your life. So our period pants have all the layers in the underwear, our breathable layer. So the airflow is much more better. We have this great technology that once the blood goes in, pretty much it locks in. So it keeps you dry as well. And we only say like people to change it once you start feeling wet. This is also great for like people who have got sensory issues, who find like using pads or tampons to wear an underwear is much more easier.
So if you are then doing an ad, I'm interested to know, like, let's say you're on Instagram and you do an ad. What's been your most successful ad that has really resonated and given you the highest conversion of customers?
Telling people's story. I think as a business, you can be either painkiller or vitamin. We are a painkiller for people who have got heavy flow. If you've got a heavy flow, you are conscious about sleeping and not making sure that you're not leaking. You're conscious about going out. So these are the pain points of like the customer that we are trying to address. So when we tell the story of like people who have got heavy flow are so debilitated that they can't even leave the home or not have a good night's sleep, I think those are the kind of campaign that really converts us when we tell people's real story. And just a week ago, I got an email from a customer saying that for last 30 years, every time she slept, when on her period, she bled through her sheets. She started using Wuka for last 1 year, and she said, like, not a single time I have bled through my sheets. And I think this is the thing, like, we've been putting up with this product that existed for like decades and decades. And in the name of innovation, all we got was like, wings and strings, and that's it. Nothing. At the design of a pad, it is designed for like only standing up position. There's no sleeping feature on it.
It's like I'm going to say, where do you go from here? You're obviously such a focused businesswoman. I'm so impressed by you. And I want to ask you, because you've sent me some things here, and I see that you've got like, if you want to go working out, is this built in for your working out?
Yes, got built-in underwear that has got absorbent. So whether it's for your period or whether it's for sweat or whether for leaks, you can just wear leggings, go commando, and then that's it.
What's this?
So there are like our wet bags. Basically, once you use your underwear, you can just put it inside the bag and carry it around wherever you want, and you can bring it home and wash it.
So where do you take it from here? Because you can have a different sport and things, but where do you see the business in a few years?
When you talked about the cost is quite high kind of thing, I wanted to just address a couple of things. One is like, at the moment, I'm actually fighting with the government to remove the VAT on period pants. Disposable period product and like menstrual cup, they all have 0% VAT. Our period pants have got 20% VAT.
Because they're classified as clothing, not as a device to help. You can't compete as objectively in the marketplace.
Yes. It makes it like 20% more cheaper, makes it 20% more affordable. We talk about period poverty in the UK quite often, and it comes in conversation quite a bit as well. When you are constantly giving disposable product, the problem never goes away. It'll still stay there, right? So I think government initiative to push more sustainable product to those households that are struggling, I think that would be a great way. The period product market is $52 billion global market, right? At the moment, goes straight to the bin, straight to the landfill. We got to change that. We have to live a world better for our kids, our grandkids.
The amount of money spent on something in a landfill, that's a kind of shockingly visual example of it, And what about opportunities, like if you were to go to America, do you sell in America yet?
We don't at the moment. So we are owning the home country. In the UK, we are number one. We're trying to go neighboring countries to Europe. America is, I think, I've never been there, so I don't know. Perhaps maybe I should go visit once just to see the culture and see how things work over there. We are also looking for funding at the moment. So till now we are bootstrapped. So we are looking for investors who can help us boost the business and help us scale, most importantly. Like, as I said, I don't have a background in business, so it'll be great to have people around me who have got great knowledge to help me boost this.
So when you're looking for funding, one thing I would suggest is that you say, I haven't got a knowledge for business. So you said it 2 or 3 times. You have learned so much, Ruby. by building this business. Since 2017, you have had 7 years experience in building a business. So you are an experienced businesswoman. So don't do yourself that disservice to say that and preempt things with that, because you know more about the industry than any investor coming into it. And it's your job to show them the opportunity. And the one thing I'd also say is when I started Trinny London, a very nice woman, Natalie Massenet, who'd started Net-a-Porter, and I was at the beginning, I kept talking about in the UK, and she said, from day one, think globally, Trinny. Just think globally, because when you're growing a business, it's new markets, new products. There's certain ways you grow. One of them definitely is geographical. Think of that. You are a global business.
At the moment, like I've been just sending out pitches to like investors and things, and when I get into meeting and things, and the first thing they ask is like, what's your background kind of way? And it's just like slightly disheartening that you are looking for somebody who has got like 15, 20 years of experience in like some FMCG brand or something like that.
Then what you need to think about is I used to do this a bit of looking at where are there those really successful female founders. The wonderful woman who started Spanx. Yes. She didn't come from working in a tights business for 10 years. So just say, you know what? I love that question, because I'm going to throw back at you 5 female founders who I bet you wish you'd invested in these businesses. I'm going to say, Did they have any experience before in that sector doing this? No. But they know what women wanted, and they even knew what women didn't know they wanted yet. And they knew what would shift. And I'm a company with a mission and a purpose and a service.
I'm going to use that, honestly. Yeah, it's like because you are trying to do something new, right? So I think it will take few times to actually overcome like, okay, these are the steps.
Yeah. And it's also like I've had many things said to me in investor pitches, like, great thing, but you got to make it for 20-year-olds, Trinny London, because nobody in their 50s is going to buy it or 40s is going to buy it. And I said, I am the customer. I know they will. You've got to come back with what's your life experience that is going to not only reassure them, but inspire them. But my God, okay, I'm going to look at this differently.